Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt, aka the True Prince of Pro, and today I'm here to review episode 24 of AAA TV on Fox in Mexico. The show opens up with a video with Los Perros Del Mal recapping their attack on El Grande Americano last week. They say that heaven called us, hell liberated us. We don't follow orders, we follow instincts. God forgives, but Los Perros don't. Up next, we have Psycho Clown in the ring talking about everything that has happened to him over this past year, from all the mystery attacks on his friends to Pagano betraying him at Noche de los Grandes. He says tonight he is getting to the bottom of it as he invites Los Psycho Circus down to the ring, as Dave the Clown, Murder Clown, and Panic Clown all say that they are not sure who attacked him, but the whole group believes that it was Pagano. And that's when they all head backstage to go find Pagano and get some answers. They break into his locker room and they find him on the floor bleeding after being attacked. That's when Psycho Clown begs for forgiveness from Pagano as they tend to him, and Pagano forgives him, but then they look up at the mirror and written in blood it says, "Psycho, you are next." After that, we get what felt like a very long video package recapping last year's La Copa Bardal, and they reveal that the La Copa will be returning once again this year at Triple Mania. Up next, we have a match between Galeno and Mecha Wolf. Galeno pushes Mecha Wolf into the corner to start off this match, and then Galeno goes for a corner clothesline, but Mecha Wolf moves and lights up Galeno with some chops. Galeno leapfrogs over Mecha Wolf and drops him with a shoulder tackle. Mecha Wolf goes for a suicide dive to the outside, but Galeno catches him out of the air and drops him with a forearm. Galeno is then momentarily distracted by the appearance of Omos in the entranceway, and then he turns around and he goes to hit Mecha Wolf with a splash into the corner post, but Mecha Wolf moves and Galeno eats the post. That's when Mecha Wolf runs back into the ring and hits a suicide dive to the back of the head of Galeno. In the ring, Galeno fights out of the corner, but Mecha Wolf catches him with a dropkick that sends him into the ropes, and then Mecha Wolf hits Galeno with a running knee strike to the back. Mecha Wolf catches Galeno with a super kick, but Galeno launches Mecha Wolf up into the air and drops him with a forearm, and then follows that up with a running senton. Galeno hits Mecha Wolf with a blue thunder bomb for a near fall. Mecha Wolf then catches Galeno with a kick and then drops him with a tornado DDT. Galeno drops Mecha Wolf with a clothesline and then follows that up with a vicious cannonball into the corner. Galeno, while staring down Omos on the ramp, hits Mecha Wolf with the Galeno special to pick up the win. After that, they were advertising Verano de Escándalo by showing the closing moments of a AAA tag title match from last year between Los Garzas and the team of Laredo Kid and Octagon Jr., and this felt so random to me. Like, it was cool for them to show off old footage like that, but it just felt so out of place because Los Garzas isn't even that form of Los Garzas anymore now that they're in Los Perros Del Mal. And Laredo Kid's a heel, and Octagon Jr.'s injured. So it's like, I don't know what they benefited from showing this, but it was very interesting to me that like they chose to do that. Like, it felt like they were just trying to add more time to this episode, because this was a shorter episode than usual. But I don't know, it just felt really weird to me, like that's how they chose to advertise the event. But either way, it was cool to see the footage. Up next, we got our media blitz with the AAA general manager Rey Mysterio, and he's asked about Los Perros Del Mal. And he says that Los Perros Del Mal is one of the greatest factions in Lucha Libre history, and he respects the history of guys like Daga and Los Garzas being in the group, but he was truly shocked by their appearance last week. He then says that the WWE World Heavyweight Champion that is coming to AAA will be making his debut next week on television. He says that Lady Shani has issued a challenge for a non-title match against the AAA Reina de Reinas champion Flammer. And he says that next week we will also see Abismo Negro Jr. versus El Fiscal. And he ends the thing by saying that El Hijo del Vikingo will be defending his AAA Latin American Championship in the future on NXT programming as a part of their ongoing talent exchange. It's main event time as we have a match for the NXT Women's Championship as Lola Vice defends her title against La Hiedra. The match starts off early with La Hiedra dropping Lola Vice with a Michinoku driver for a near fall. The two begin to brawl by trading punches back and forth all the way out to the floor, and then La Hiedra throws Lola Vice into the steel steps. La Hiedra goes for a running hip attack into the stairs, but Lola Vice moves and La Hiedra runs into the steps. In the ring, Lola Vice catches La Hiedra with multiple kicks to the chest, but gets dropped by a spinebuster from La Hiedra. La Hiedra drags Lola Vice around the ring by her hair. Then La Hiedra traps Lola Vice Goldust style in the ropes and follows that up with a running dropkick to her legs. La Hiedra then follows that up with another running dropkick in the middle of the ring for a near fall. La Hiedra traps Lola Vice in the abdominal stretch, but Lola Vice fights out of it, and then the two begin to trade clotheslines back and forth with neither competitor falling until the double hair whip sends them both down to the mat. Lola Vice then hits La Hiedra with the big back suplex and then follows that up with a running seated senton off to the apron to the floor. Lola Vice hits La Hiedra with her rapid fire kicks in the ring and then follows that up with multiple running hip attacks into the corner. La Hiedra fights out of the corner by hitting Lola Vice with a stunner for a near fall. Lola Vice catches La Hiedra with a vicious knee strike, but ends up getting dropped by a wheelbarrow facebuster from La Hiedra. Lola Vice catches La Hiedra with the back fist, but that's when Las Toxicas run down to the ring. As Flammer distracts the referee, Lady Maravilla drops Lola Vice on the outside and throws her back into the ring. That's when La Catalina runs down and spears Lady Maravilla and then takes out Flammer, evening the odds. And in the ring, Lola Vice is able to catch La Hiedra with the back fist to pick up the win and retain her title. After the match, Las Toxicas attack Lola Vice and La Catalina, but that's when Lady Shani runs down to the ring to fight off Las Toxicas, and the episode ends with Lady Shani standing tall with Lola Vice and La Catalina. Okay, so if I'm being honest with you guys, outside of the Psycho Circus segment, which I thought was tremendous, and the brief Los Perros Del Mal promo at the beginning of the show, which was very good, this was a very skippable episode of AAA TV this week. Don't get me wrong, I loved it, as I really love AAA, and I think it's the best weekly programming going today. This kind of felt like the same old, like, we've seen this Lola Vice and La Hiedra match so many times, and I'm just begging them to book Lola Vice against literally any other woman in the AAA roster outside of Las Toxicas. And them spoiling Lady Shani's appearance in the Rey Mysterio segment earlier in the episode before it happens in the main event just felt so weird to me. And a positive, I really enjoyed the Galeno and Mecha Wolf match, and I love what they've been doing with Galeno lately. And it feels like Galeno and Omos is like the biggest match in AAA right now, which feels so weird considering you should be building up to the El Grande Americano and Dominic Mysterio match that's coming up at Triple Mania. But, you know, they don't want to book Dominic on the AAA programming, it feels like. But either way, thank you for watching this review, and I look forward to talking more Lucha Libre with y'all in the next video.